Hey everyone, in this video I want to talk about Pay Up Hollywood and what that means for someone that's trying to move to LA and work in the film and TV industry. Now if you don't know about hashtag Pay Up Hollywood, it's a movement that advocates for better wages and working conditions for assistants in Hollywood. People are hashtagging Pay Up Hollywood and sharing horror stories on Twitter all about their experiences as assistants, including their wages, things that they've had to do for work, their hours that they work, and what they've had to do in order to survive in Hollywood on those wages. I talk a lot about the movement on my blog, so if you're interested in learning more, check out the link in the description. But essentially, the movement is calling out production companies, studios, producers to start treating their assistants fairly and not just as expendable material. One company, Verve, has actually stepped up and said they're going to start paying their assistants more and cutting down their hours. But so far, that's the only company that's actually done anything about that. Now, if you know anything about LA, you know that rent is high, expenses are high, and if you're coming out starting in the industry, you're probably going to be starting out as an assistant. Whether it's an executive assistant, a production assistant, a writer's assistant, even a mailroom assistant, that's usually where a lot of people start out. So while we wait for other production companies and studios to continue the revolution of Pay Up Hollywood, I thought it would be helpful to give you an idea of how to make those assistant wages livable. So here's my list on how not to go ridiculously broke you have to move back home. The first thing I recommend is finding a roommate as soon as possible. Before you move out here, try to find a roommate or move out with friends that are trying to do the same thing as you. Because depending on the area that you're moving to, rent can be anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 for a studio or even a one-bedroom apartment. And being able to afford that by yourself is almost impossible when you're working such low wages. I was lucky enough to move out here with my boyfriend, so we split rent and utilities and everything else in half, which makes it so much more affordable than if I was only out here by myself. If you have a car, and I really hope you do if you're trying to move out here and be an assistant, look into your car insurance and try to see who can give you the lowest rate out here in California. Of course, when you're moving from a different state to California, your rate might go up just because California drivers are insane and the insurance goes up, as does everything else. When I lived in Arizona, I had this insurance company called Root Insurance, and they weren't available in California when I moved out here, so I had to switch over to Progressive, which was so much more expensive. But then finally Root was available in California, and I switched back over there and saved so much more money. With Progressive, I was paying about $150, and with Root, now I only pay $88 a month. If you're interested in signing up for Root, I left my referral link in the description. Go ahead and check that out if you're interested in lower car insurance. And again, I'm not being sponsored by them. I just really love Root. The third thing I recommend is keeping track of your finances. Your income and your expenses, all the cash flow that you're having. It's super important to not only stay disciplined and know when to say no. As far as your income, knowing how much you're making each month, how much you should put aside for taxes, if you can even put money aside for taxes, all those types of things are super important for you to know. I have a Google Sheet where I keep track of all that stuff, but then I also use the Mint app. If you haven't heard of the Mint app, I definitely recommend you take a look at it. It's a super useful tool that basically lets you add all your different kinds of accounts, credit accounts, checking accounts, things like that. And it keeps track of your expenses, your income, your cash flow. It really lays out everything so you can have a really full, detailed idea of what's going on with your financial situation. The fourth thing is understanding your credit score. This may not be something that you have to think about every single day, but it's super important to be financially independent. Mint also has a section in their app where they keep track of your credit score and outline all the 6 different things that impact your credit, like the length of your credit, how much usage of your credit you are using, your late payments, and all those different things that impact your credit, so you can make informed decisions on how to increase your credit score. And no, this video is not sponsored by Mint, but Mint, if you want to sponsor me, hey, I'm right here. Number 5, speaking of credit and owing people money, I'm sure a lot of us have student loans, and you might be thinking about how the heck are you gonna make your payments for your student loans? If you don't know this, you can apply for income-driven repayment plans. So if you're making a lot less money than you were before, or whatever your situation may be, you can apply for income-driven repayment plans, which basically you send them proof of your pay stubs or your income, and then they can basically adjust your payment plans down to basically $0 or $100 or anywhere in between where it seems appropriate depending on the income that you have. So if you are not in a position where you can be making monthly payments, kind of want to maybe minimize that or completely eliminate that for a period of time, you can try to apply for that. Of course, that doesn't help you pay them back any quicker, but it can be a temporary solution for your financial situation. Number 6 is learning to cook. I feel like so silly having to say this, but so many people, like millennials especially, don't cook. They go out and eat out all the time, and that just blows my mind. And I feel like if you're living in LA and you're making assistant wages, that's not sustainable in any way, shape, or form. So definitely try to skip out on that In-N-Out and instead make some homemade spaghetti or something like that. Your bank account will definitely thank you. And the last thing, I know a lot of us are trying to stay current with film and movies, and we love going out and all that stuff. If you live near an AMC, I definitely recommend you sign up for AMC A-List. I'm sure you've heard about it. It's like $20 or 20-something dollars a month, and you can basically see 3 movies a week, and it saves you so much money in the long run if you're going to the movies every weekend, or more than basically 2 times a month, because tickets can be expensive on their own, but with AMC A-List, it's pretty affordable. So definitely check that out if you're near an AMC and want to save some money. So that's my list. I know that coming to LA can be such a huge financial burden to a lot of people. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen me talk about finance and all those things. It's super dear to my heart. So I hope this video has helped you guys out with understanding what you're getting yourself into and maybe helping you formulate a plan for the future. For more information on Pay Up Hollywood, check out the link below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, click that like and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.